right, they should be able to see us and hear us. We are ready to start up playing some things from the flood. If anyone's in the channel, hello, thank you for joining us. This is like our first full session for things. We did kind of a world building character creation session 0 a couple weeks back, but tonight is like the first as we explore this crazy mystery landscape that we made and many people in chat helped make as well. We will. We have actual character names on the screen as well, so you can see everyone's names. And we'll do this in a second. Here we'll go around, introduce everybody, who they, what ended up being your teen type and all that kind of stuff, and any sort of pluggables and that kind of stuff. So we'll just go in the order of the layout as usual. So Bert, you're up first.
That's what I get for having the B, right? Yeah, hey, check out my own Twitch channel at twitch.tv/SteamSteelMurder and the podcast at BlueMagic, BLUMAGIK.com. It's Steam, Steel, and Murder. And who the heck am I playing tonight? I'm playing Cancer Boy, Edward Rankings, the hacker of the group.
Terrible superhero name.
Yeah, I was about to say, but Cancer Boy is just like a really... Oh, that's a very unfortunate nickname.
Just gonna write
that makes sense.
It's a great name. You know what you're in for. I mean,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I told everybody in the group, like, you can go as dark as you want with your characters. Oh, man. They listened. So, okay, there we go. All right, I dropped Bert's Twitch channel in the chat, so go ahead and give him a follow. And, yeah, go over to Chuck then. Chuck, who are you?
Oh, I'm Chuck. Hi, everyone. I head up Defenders of Cobalt. We play a crap load of games over there. It's Wednesday. We got Spectaculars. Friday, we're running Alien. And also we got a YouTube where we got a new campaign going. It's D&D 5th Ed, but Ghibli inspired, called Watercolors and Warriors. So yeah, it's on our YouTube. But I'm playing Levi, our rocker. He just wants to have a good time, man. He wants to drink some beers, smoke some pot, play a little guitar, and hang out with his friends.
Yeah, so is he like lead guitarist? Is he bass guitarist? Like,
no, he's lead. He's,
Of course. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got some ego to him, so of course he's got to be lead.
Is he good? Like, is he actually good?
He's all right. Yeah, he's pretty good. Yeah.
Does he have a band?
Yes, he has a band. I don't have a name for it. There is a bandmate I have is one of my NPC associates, but I'd say he's pretty good. His grandfather was an old blues player who taught him. So he's
I feel like you're gonna have to come up with a band name quickly.
I'll come up with a band name.
Yeah. You just think about that.
I'll think about that.
Yeah.
More importantly, do you have a trunk full of cassette tapes you keep pawning off on people?
Oh yeah.
Hey, can I give you my demo tape? Like, it's really good.
Absolutely, I do.
That's half of what's in the trunk of my car.
There you go.
And let's move on over to the fresh-faced young fella on the right, Joe.
Hi, I'm Joe with the Defenders of Cobalt. I don't know how to shave, so I am going to be playing Nicholas, the street kid, who's got a very troubled home life, and his goal is to get out of town eventually. Pretty much it.
Right on. And you've got siblings, right? You have an older brother. Do you have a younger brother?
So I've got a younger brother that he's very protective of, and then he's got an older brother who is into a lot of things that he shouldn't be, but pays the bills, so can't complain too much.
Awesome. Untold Stories Project, thank you very much for that raid. You timed it pretty perfectly. We just started up a couple minutes ago, playing Things from the Flood, just doing character intros and such, but we'll be starting up here proper in a couple minutes. And I see that you've got an actual Things from the Flood picture in the back, right? And that's actually in work art. There's a giant, look at that giant, I don't know what that is. Some giant monster.
There's a creature back there. I didn't even fucking notice that.
I know. Isn't that crazy? Let's go to the bottom row. Melissa.
So I am playing Allison Forrester. She is the party animal of the group. And in terms of kind of relationships in the group, she is cousin to Joe and twin brother to Llewellyn. She is tall, kind of athletic, stocky build, long, wavy brunette hair. And her drive is essentially just to get out of the house and not be home as much as possible.
Cool. Do you everyone gets an iconic item. Did you figure out what your iconic item is?
Oh, I was actually very quick with my iconic item. It is a fake ID.
A fake. Oh, that's right. Fake ID. Okay.
Nice.
Right. Because you're the partier. Like your anchor was like the older partier as well, who's like kind of a bad influence on you. Perfect.
Yep.
Okay.
Summer.
I like it. This is Melissa's just playing herself from when she was younger.
Right.
Okay.
On opposite day.
Oh, I love Thanks for the Flood already. It's so great. Let's keep it going. Before Jeremy does his introductions, I do want to point out it's really interesting how the two people in real life who have the longest names, Melissa and Jeremy, also pick the longest in-character names, making it really fun to fit their names on that little square. I was complaining to Melissa for the past week. I'm like, couldn't you pick a shorter name? Anyway, Jeremy, who are you?
Hi, I'm Jeremy. I do anything I can to make Jeff's life more difficult
Aw,
because I'm a good person.
you are.
I get to play games with these wonderful people all week. Sometimes talk about comic books on a podcast called the Pludcast. And I'm going to be playing the lesser half of the dynamic duo of Forrester twins. I'll be Llewellyn, who is the Jock. He's basically just built like a moose. His drive is, I'm a winner, even if it means risking my life to do it.
Wow, that's great. And you had a little foot race with Levi in the last ep, and you like kind of went easy on him, right? Didn't you? Are you just a nice person as well with Jeremy or with Llewllyn?
I think he's mostly a nice dude, but he's pretty bad about like bottling stuff up and then blowing up at the wrong time.
Okay, well that's good. That's always a healthy thing to do.
He handles his emotions in a very healthy way.
Perfect, just like any other teenage boy, right? We're all very good at that kind of stuff. And then finally, Dan.
Everybody, Dan with the Defenders of Cobalt. I'm still fighting with my computer, which I've been doing for about the last week, and I can't look at the game right now because I can't log in. But I'm basically the loner, and I'm gonna try to figure out how I am friends with everybody, but also not at the same time.
Yeah, fair enough.
That'd be great.
Okay. And I'm Jeff, GM. Twitch.tv/the Lollygaggers for us. I got some links I'll drop here in a minute. But we've got a couple different things going on. Every other Monday, we're either here or we're over on our own channel playing Alien. So it's a free league game either way. We're starting up a brand new chapter next week. And then starting this Friday over on our channel, we are playing we're starting up a Delta Green campaign that I'm very excited about and terrified about, and it's been kind of screwing with my head a bit. So if Things from the Flood sort of turns into a Delta Green game at some point, you kind of know why. I've been reading both and prepping at the same time. So there's that. Okay, so let's do just a quick refresher then on what we did last time. So we are in a remote desert town called Endurance. It's somewhere in the western U.S. It's 1992. It's close to the end of 1992. Literally just a couple days ago, Bill Clinton was elected president, so we're in November. Halloween decorations are still kind of lingering here and there. You can see that they're like kind of, in trash cans that are at the edge of curbs and such, and they're just in the gutters of various streets. There's been a bunch of recent dust storms that have scattered junk and dirt all across the area, including across Wheeler Street, which is our main street, and over the perimeter of the military base, which I have dubbed it Fort Upchurch for one of our wonderful listeners who's in chat, I think, and also like in Ham's factory, which is like this big meat factory plant, and then also into the salt lands, which is where these people hang out. So you all, we basically picked up with you all having just got out of school. You're doing your kind of normal hangout in the afternoon on these old ruins of like a spa that tried to build off of what had been the old ruins of a previous Ham's meat factory plant that kind of fell through because of the salt lands are just not a good place to build anything. And while you were there, dust storms were kicking up, so you're just kind of taking shelter for a bit in the ruins of this old spa complex. And while that was happening, a bunch of weird things started to happen. Does anyone remember what some of those weird things that happened were? Anyone remember like a couple of the little things that you all experienced?
We saw the album cover of Dirt.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you did. Saw a lot of dirt.
Yep.
Bert realized Bert at the very end. I re-listened, and he was just like, "So, are we in 1992 because you just wanted it to be when Dirt came out?" And like, yeah, that's the only reason. It's like my favorite album when I was a kid, so it's fine.
Saw a lot of things.
good
else
album.
turn into the album.
It is a good
cover.
album. It's a great album. Everyone should go
Everything.
listen to Alice in Chains. Random plug for Alice in Chains. But yeah, like two of you, speaking of albums, were listening to radios at the time. Your radios broke and like your static came in, and then more than static, you started hearing the sounds of like a phone call that was trying to happen. Someone was punching buttons into a phone. You heard the voice of a teenager by the name of Alice Chandler, who all of you know. Some of you might be closer to than others. Allison specifically is probably friends to some degree. She had recently gone missing, but no one really ever followed too much on it because everyone kind of thought she was just a runaway. She came from a broken home, and so she probably just got out of Dodge. But you heard her voice, and she was really scared. She was trying to call like the sheriff's department within Endurance. You also heard the sound of Peter Gabriel's like Digging in the Dirt song constantly coming on, but then getting warped. After the dust storms were going on, they started to just evaporate until they were tiny, these small little balls of almost like big tufts of cotton, like in various places around the complex. Levi and Llewllyn went and chased after one, and then it exploded, and in doing so caused this kind of ripple effect with these different walls of dirt and sand. When Steven was investigating them, his fingers went numb, his hair stood on end, and he saw bugs, these beetles that he tried to capture, but they skirted away super fast, and he was not able to do so. In the crater that was left by that explosion, Levi and Llewllyn saw the body of Alice Chandler in the same clothes that she was wearing from a couple weeks back when she went missing. Last time anyone saw her was at a Halloween party. And Jeremy, want to describe in what physical condition she was in?
Terrifying physical condition, like a body made out of sand,
Body
but
made of sand,
like
yeah.
everything was accurate.
Mhm.
Like to the point that Llewellyn was pretty freaked out when his sister was like scraping away these layers of sand, and you would see corresponding layers of red or white where there should be bone.
Exactly. Yeah. Now, Levi was super clever, or Chuck was actually really clever. Chuck was really clever about this, but there is a kind of an ID or something that was obscured by an army jacket that she was wearing that had the name M. Chandler. Her name is, again, Alice, but it had the name M. Chandler, and he just dusted away the top layer of the jacket and underneath found a military ID for the fort that's nearby, for her father, who has been gone for a very long time, who's been out of the picture for about 5 to 10 years, somewhere in that range. It's hard. None of you are great friends with her, but she's been out of the picture for a while. And if that wasn't enough, as you all were looking around, you started to notice other things were suddenly made from sand and crumbled. There was an old lamppost that fell on top of Llewellyn's car and just threw sand all over the place. And then the building that Edward was taking shelter in, worried about lightning, suddenly started to collapse on top of him, and he was able to get out. Everyone was fine. But that was how we kind of ended last session. So what we're going to do is we're going to move forward a little bit. So this is a scene-based game. So I'll frame some of them. You all have framed some of them. Very sandboxy. You guys pick and choose the hooks and the places you want to go. So let's get a little mood music going, and then just to set the mood a little bit. And we're going to start up with Levi. So Levi,
Yeah.
This is hours later. You're finally getting home. When you get up to the front of your home, is it a house? Is it an apartment? Where does Levi live? Trailer. Nice. Do you have a choice? Do you use the Burnt Cabins, or is it what's the other one? Whispering Hollow or something?
Whichever one was the shittier of the two.
Okay,
I don't remember.
The hickish
Yeah.
one is Burnt Cabins.
Yeah, Burnt Cabins is
Yeah.
where it's at.
Burnt Cabins is my new favorite name for a trailer park. I've been using that in a
Nice.
couple games over and over again now. Someone dropped it in chat.
Sounds like a
and I totally
marketing
stole it.
nightmare.
Yeah, it sounds terrible. It sounds terrible. Sounds like terrible. So, you go up to, is it double wide? Do you have a double wide?
No, it's just me and my mom, so it'd probably just be
Okay.
a single.
So you go up pull open the screen door. Door opens up. You see your mom. And it's probably like 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, something like that. It's dark.
Yeah.
And she's there at the little nook where like you're like a it's a nook where you eat your dinner. And she's got food on the plate right in front of you. And hers is untouched, yours is untouched. And you can see that she's got a cigarette just sort of smoking away. And she looks up at you and she says, "Where have you been?" And you can see that she's her eyes are all puffy and red.
Like, I meant to call. I'm sorry. I was just out with my friends. We're just jamming a little bit. Like, I know I should have called. I'm real sorry.
It's not hard to call, you know. There's payphones everywhere. You could have stopped anywhere and made a payphone call.
I know. I'm sorry, Mom. Like, you know I don't mean to, right?
First it was your father, then your brother and sister, and I thought I lost you too. So she's getting really upset. And then after what happened to your grandfather tonight, oh my God.
Wait, what happened to Granddad?
He got into an accident.
Oh shit, is he all right?
He's okay. He's okay. He was one of the overpasses over by Crystal Canyon. It collapsed. A couple different cars fell down. One of them was his, and he broke his leg, and he went ahead and also got some kind of concussion. He's talking nonsense. They say he's gonna be okay, but like he could have died too, and for all I knew, you were dead too. I was calling around to all your friends, their families. How could you do this to me?
Sorry, Mom. Listen, you got any wine left? Like, I'll get you a glass. Like,
yeah. There's a little of the Merlot. Yeah, go ahead, get me a glass. And so she like holds out like a Solo red plastic cup.
Yeah.
Just holds it out for you. And you get your box of Merlot that you picked up at the drugstore, and you pour it in to kind of make your mother feel a little better.
Granddad's still at the hospital?
Yeah, he's gonna be there. He's gonna be there overnight. They're monitoring him.
You want me to go check on him for you?
I went by earlier. I thought we were gonna go together, but you weren't here. I'm sure he'd like to see you, but it's pretty late, and you have school tomorrow.
Okay. You know I'm gonna be okay, right? I know you worry, but it's cool. It's not like life can shit on us any harder, Mom. We're gonna be all right.
No, life can always shit on us harder.
All right.
Eat your food. And you look down, it's like TV dinner stuff. It's looking great.
Yeah.
It's like Salisbury steak TV dinner. Some mushy string beans. It's super cold.
Oh, this is definitely during the era where Swanson did the home delivery of yeah.
Oh, this isn't
You're
Swanson.
on the Swanson delivery.
This is Ham's Meat TV dinner.
Yeah. I'll dig into it. I won't mention that it's cold.
Okay. And we'll switch over then to Nicholas. Nicholas, when you get home, where does Nicholas live? Apartments, home, or house, suburbs, trailer park?
So I imagine wherever like someone at the bottom of like the middle class would be kind of, but they're probably in like the cheaper part of that area, and they're just barely struggling to keep the lights on there.
There's some suburbs south of the highway by the schools. You can probably
so in like one of the worst neighborhoods in that area.
Sure. Probably your front yard is a little disheveled a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get home, I imagine maybe Llewllyn's dropping people off one by one, and you head up to your front door, and you notice that the front door, the frame and the door itself, the jamb, has been damaged, and you can see that the door is just open, and the wood is splintered as if someone knocked the door down.
Not again. Do I hear anything just by standing on the porch?
Everything's dark. You don't hear anything now.
Okay. Is there any like cars in the driveway that it would indicate if my parents are home?
Do your parents both have a car, or do you only have one for the family?
Probably only one for the family.
Okay, yeah, there's no cars in the driveway.
Okay. I don't know if I'm gonna go in through the front door. Then I kind of want to just walk around the house, and go in through like my window into my room.
Sure. Yeah.
That's probably how he normally comes home, anyways.
Okay. So you climb into it's no problem. You climb into your window. You climb through your room. What's your room look like? What would be the most noticeable poster you have on the wall in your room?
Probably like a really cliche like visit Hawaii, like poster.
Okay.
Just like some travel poster that he picked
I
up
like it.
somewhere.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So fortunately, when you turn the lights on, that poster is still there. But you do notice that your room. Do you have your own room, or do you share it with your younger brother?
I would have my own room, but
Okay.
my younger brother would stay in there a lot too.
So when you look around, the place is in far worse condition than when you were here earlier this morning. Like, you probably don't keep your room that tidy. You're a teenage boy, but it's better than what you see here. The drawers in your dresser have all been pulled out and dumped. You can see that your mattress has been flipped over. You can see that a lot of your clothes and other junk in your closet has been like thrown out into the middle of the floor. Everything's.
Does it look like anything's missing right away?
You'd have to spend some time to look through that, but none of the big stuff seems to be missing. Like if you've got like a radio or something like that that's on your desk or whatever, that's still there. But nothing immediately. It's hard to tell. You'd have to take stock. It's that messy. Everything's just big old pile in the middle of the room.
Okay. I'd kind of start sifting through it, looking for a trace of like anyone that would have done that. See if there's like mud tracked in or
It's like 8,
prints or something.
9 o'clock at night. It's dark out. The whole house is dark. You don't hear anybody at all. You don't hear your brother. You don't hear your parent. Your mom, your dad. Nobody. You look for mud and stuff. You don't, but you do notice that the back door has also been kind of kicked open. And you notice that every drawer in the house, the bathrooms, the kitchen, the cabinets, and have all been kind of tossed. It's almost as if someone was like tossing and turning it. When you turn the lights on in the kitchen, you can see that you've got like this little, it's like a dry erase board or something with a little note, or maybe it's not even a dry erase board. Maybe it's just a note that's been magneted to the actual refrigerator, and it says, "Your brother's next door. I went to bail out your father." Mom.
Can I tell who it's from?
Yeah, it says mom.
Okay. All right. It's kind of weird that the house is destroyed, though. I'll probably go next door now.
Okay.
I'll leave through my room again, and I keep a chair in my room specifically for like propping the door closed.
Okay.
So
fair enough.
I'll butt that up and then leave through the window again.
Okay. You go next door, and your neighbor you know pretty well probably has had to watch your brother before at some point. Your younger brother. So, what is the name of this neighbor?
Let's call him Aaron.
Okay. All right. Well, Aaron opens the door. Aaron's a kindly middle-aged man, maybe a little older. His kids have all moved on, and he's like, "Oh, it's good, Nicholas. I'm so glad you're finally here. It was a terrible night. Your brother, don't worry, he's okay. He's we gave him some food. He's eaten. Have you eaten? We'll make you a plate." And he calls back to his wife. He's like, make Nicholas a plate. And he kind of pulls you in. He's like, "Yeah, a couple hours ago, the sheriff showed up and some military police. They were looking for your brother. They thought that he had left something in the house, and they pushed in, and you know how your father could be, and he didn't like that very much, and he pushed back, and that's just not really a good thing to do with the MPs and with the deputies. And all I know is that your mom came over hysterical, had your little brother, and she said she was going to go try and bail him out, but I don't know. They didn't even put him into a deputy's car. They put him into a Jeep. Yeah. Anyway, come on and get some
What
food.
time was that when
Uh,
they came over?
6, maybe 2-3 hours ago. I don't know.
What time was that in relation to when we saw the sand stuff?
You saw the dust storms were like afternoon, 4-ish, 5-ish, so something like that.
Okay.
Shortly thereafter.
Okay.
So they bring you inside. They feed you. You ask as many questions as you can, but there's only so much that they know.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll shift to somebody else. We'll shift to Edward. Bert, where do you live?
Oh, I imagine they've got a nice little brownstone in the middle of the city. Dad
Okay.
being, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there's some
The
apartment
yuppie type.
complex of increasing and decreasing value depending on the street that you get them on. Okay. So you probably get dropped off again. Llewllyn is probably just going around dropping everybody off before he and Allison go home. And
It's one of the nicer ones because Dad keeps complaining about everybody else bringing his property values down.
classic. When you get home, you know, your father's, you know, nothing's amiss. Nothing's fine. People are kind of cleaning off their windows and they're kind of, you know, dusting off and sweeping their front doorsteps. Everything's pretty much a common night for you otherwise. But you do have plenty of computer gear, right? Like you have tons of stuff, I would imagine. You've got being a hacker and whatnot.
Got my Amiga 4000.
There you go. So at some point, you get a ping. Like, do you have a pager? Or do you just get like a ping?
I have a pager.
Okay,
yeah.
so you get a ping on your pager, and it kind of references like it says like, you know, check the forum or whatever, you know, one of your hacker forums it's referring to, like, just like, and then there's followed by like 3 question marks, like question mark. And so when you hop on your Amiga, you eventually gonna go through the different hacker forums. Is there a name for the hacker forum that you go to?
It's probably a news group. It's
Okay.
like an IRC news group.
Oh, okay, right on. All right, perfect. That's actually really good. You start scrolling through a bunch of the messages. You get there's a lot of the usual stuff that you would have. People kind of bragging about this or that, links to various new discoveries in the tech industry, and like people having new gear that they're showing up. But then there's this other one. It's got a picture. It's a little pixelated. It takes a little while to download in 1992 and to kind of show, but eventually it gets there. And it's a very peculiar picture because it's a newspaper. And it's we have a newspaper in town. What's the newspaper called? Endurance, the Endurance local news. What are we calling it?
It's
The
the
Endurance
Herald.
Daily.
The Endurance Herald. The Endurance Daily Herald.
There you go.
The Apocalypse Times.
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned that because when you take a look at it, it is the Endurance Daily Herald. And you can see that there's the headline says Holiday Heartbreak. And as you're looking at the picture, it's not the cleanest picture in the world, but like you can definitely tell that it's Wheeler Street, which is Main Street. And you can tell that there's like broken down and half destroyed floats from the Settlers Parade. So you can see like the high schools got their like coyote set up, and like the middle schoolers got their like their Roadrunners set up, and like the elementary school students who what they have a tendency to do is they do like polka on top of a float, and they dress up like James K. Polk for some reason. No one really understands why, but it's tradition. And you can see that a lot of these cars and these floats have been half destroyed. Some of them are just like almost cut in half. And you also notice you don't see any buildings. You're like, where's the arcade? Like, where's the pizza place? Where's Donato's, and where's the Civic Hall? Where's, the flat? All it is just a series of very big, very tall piles of dirt.
For the happenings of today, that's got me worried. It's I'm gonna look at the metadata to find out when that image was created, like what resolution, if it's got any well, it wouldn't have geotagging at that point, But yeah,
Geotech. That'd be awesome if we had geotech with it. Okay, so why don't you make a? You could do one of your tech rolls if you think there's something specific, or you can do a comprehend. But if you want to apply one of your tech rolls,
yeah, it's a program thing. So yeah, I'm gonna
sounds good.
pull up some of my programs and run a metadata search on it, see what it comes up with. And I'm going to use my Amiga 4000, of course.
Yep, +2.
4 successes.
Okay. Well, you're going to notice a whole bunch of stuff. So, first of all, you can tell that from assessing this, that there doesn't seem to be anything. There's nothing particularly. Nothing makes you skeptical about the the nature of the photo, in the sense that this looks legit. Like you don't see anything at all that would make you think that this was like doctored in any way, or all of that seems particularly clear. You managed to do, like whoever had posted it kind of cropped it strangely, and you kind of sort of reconstruct a bit, and you do get a date, and it actually has the date of a few weeks from now. It's this, and you know that the Settlers Parade is the Saturday after Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving weekend, and this is a few weeks from now. It's like 3.5 weeks or so, give or take.
I'm going to assume this was done by a hacker of really good skills.
Clearly.
All right, print it out.
Okay.
Print the picture out.
Yeah, I assume you have that. Yeah.
And again, just start posting on the forum too, and asking about username Leet73 who posted this. Anybody know about this person?
And yeah, you post a couple things in the news group. No immediate hits back on that. You do have an anchor though. Your anchor is a hacker too, right? Like one of the hackers on your forums.
Yeah, he goes by what was he? ER Doc.
Okay, ER Doc. Nice. Yeah, like he comes by, at some point, he'll post a reply, and he says, like, are you okay? Like, are you, are you, like, it's all over the news here.
What's all over the news?
Like endurance, man. Just like the dust storms, man. Just like it just took it down, like tornadoes and such.
Turn on my 250 res cam. It's like, it's all here, brother. Show him outside the window.
What the hell? And so he goes he does some little, he tries to do the same thing, and you see him briefly, but then he kind of turns to his TV, and you get this horrible repixelated image as it's TV through another camera lens, and it's like a news feed, and it's small town, just suffered destruction from dust storms, and it's the number the casualties mounting.
What's the date on the?
And yeah, you look at that, and you look at that. 4 successes for sure. Yeah, it's 3.5 weeks from now.
Whoa. Okay, so go back and look in the log. What date does it say that it is that I'm posting from? What
today.
Time and date?
2 days after the election.
Oh yeah, that's what I feel like. Dude, look at my log. It's you. How are you in the future?
And so you just get a WTF question mark, and then let me dig into this. And so he'll start digging into some things, and we'll cut on that scene for now.
Yep.
Okay. Then we're gonna go over to who else we got? Who haven't I done yet? Let's do a little Steven, because we'll end on the twins since you're the ones driving.
Yeah, I think I'm finally set up and logged in stably at the moment. So yay.
All right, so Steven, where do you live?
I was thinking that Steven lives in kind of the nicer part of town, but not because he genuinely deserves to be there.
Okay. So there's, when you say the nicer part, there are the estates that are around Lake Carrion, and that's where some of the richer folk live. Is that what we're talking about?
Probably towards them, not
Okay.
not on the lake, but you
Okay,
know,
so
like,
maybe you live in the same just general vicinity as Nicholas, except you have a nice house in the nice part of the suburb, or do you want to live in like? You could be in the estates and just be in like kind of a crappier part of the estates.
I mean, maybe like in the cheaper part of the estates.
Okay. Yeah.
The idea is the parents work a lot.
Okay.
You know,
Fair enough.
they look like they're well off, but like there's nothing in the house.
Okay. You come home. It's an average night. Nothing really kind of changes. Your parents are there, but they're working from home. Like you can see that they brought their work home. They're eating. They have food on the table. You sit down. You have dinner with them. They ask like questions like "How was your day?" Blah blah blah. But they don't really listen to your answers. They don't really pay too much attention. Like, they got. Looks like they're halfway through a bottle of wine at this point. Later on, as you're sleeping in your room, what's the most noticeable feature of your room?
Boy, probably got like an all right music collection. I think.
Okay.
You know, something to keep me occupied.
We talking?
Maybe I got a TV in my room.
We talking cassettes? We talking CDs? We talking albums?
Probably cassettes.
Okay, cassettes. You got a pretty sweet that's gonna be worth some money someday for sure to somebody. So maybe you fall asleep listening to your favorite song or whatever, just to make it easier. You can hear your parents kind of arguing with each other outside, somewhere in the living room, and at a certain point in the morning, it's still dark out. You hear like a buzzing, and you think at first it's just maybe your stereo has just kind of reached the end. You're gonna go mess around with it a bit, but no, it's not stereo, and you still hear a buzzing from somewhere in the room.
Okay, so I'll kind of go through, like, check my electronics.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe start unplugging them one at a time. You know, see if I can figure out where this sound's coming from.
Okay.
Damn ground loop.
Okay. You look around, and you have difficulty kind of tracking it, but you do notice something else is because it's very dark in here. You notice your backpack is kind of glowing.
Don't remember putting anything in my backpack.
So you open up your backpack and you notice there's a small jar of dirt that you had collected.
Oh, yeah. I did
from
get
the
that
cell
earlier.
phones. This little, very brightly colored, like painted dirt, like the stuff like the hippies use to make, fancy little trinkets and stuff to sell to tourists. And you can see that it's glowing. It's just this bright, colorful orange glow. And you hold it up. You don't hear it. It's not buzzing, but then you hear a. You hear like a. You look up and you see your window, and there's like tapping against the window.
I'll maybe kind of like wrap this up real quick and put it back in my bag. Hopefully it's not like obviously glowing still.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe go peer out the window.
Go peer out the window, and you can see that there is a fairly large, like cockroach, beetle, something like that, trying to go get into your room, like tapping away.
Gross. That's gonna keep me awake. It keeps tapping on my window like that. Just one of them.
Just looks like it. Yeah, just one straight. It's like.
Do I have like a screen on this window? If I like crack my window and like try to, like blow on it or something like that.
Sure.
Get it to go away.
Sure. If you want a screen, you've got a screen. So you open it up, and you blow at, and this thing flies back a little bit, but then comes right back at it, and it's like pushing against the screen now. And then you can see it starting to like. It's starting to bite through the screen. You can start to gnaw into it a bit.
Gosh, would I have anything in my room that I could like poke it with, like through the screen, like
your
a
room.
pen or something?
Of course, yeah. So you start poking it, and it's just really quickly moving around any problem. And at one point, you feel like you got the pen into it, and all of a sudden, like it grabs the pen, and you're like moving it around, and it's at the end of the pen, and you can see it just starting to gnaw up the pen a bit.
Oh, this is freaking weird. Maybe I got like some hairspray or some deodorant, like something like that in here.
Okay.
Maybe I could go get some for the bathroom. Just
Okay.
something I can spray on it.
So you go and you run and you get your hairspray, and by the time you come back, it has gnawed through the screen, and it is now not trying to burrow itself into your backpack.
I don't like that at all. Also, go ahead and try and spray it real quick.
Oh yeah, you spray it.
See if that puts it off any, and if it doesn't, then try it.
Doesn't seem to do so. Roll a comprehend test.
Okay. Let's see if that's something that I'm going to get at. I suspect not. Forgot to actually open up my character sheet. Oh, I got a chance at this.
Okay. You can push if you like.
I'm guessing that didn't work.
Yeah, it's a fail. There you go.
There we go.
2
Okay.
successes. Okay, so I'll give you extra information then. It definitely seems to be going after the jar you have on the inside. And as you're watching it do so, you notice that there seems to be circuitry on the bug.
Oh.
Like you see these little tiny bits of lights and these tiny little wires.
So maybe if I get like a glass of water, pour some water on it.
Okay. If you want to destroy it.
I mean, would I have like maybe a glass jar or something I could try and catch it in
It's
instead?
your room, man. Of course.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Dump-
maybe I'll try and catch it up in a glass jar. Or
You
something.
dump out like your pencil like jar and then you just trap it, no problem. Like, and it's like, and it's tinking against the glass, but it's trapped by the glass.
Okay.
So you scoop it up, cover it, and now you have a trapped beetle. And we'll shift over to the twins. The twins. Oh, the twins. We're gonna skip all the way to morning for the two of you. As you were the last people. It's jar of flies. See? Jar of flies. Everyone's getting it. People are getting it. People are seeing. They're figuring out my game. It's next morning. You realize when you get up that your dad never came home last night. Like, he wasn't here when you were home. You didn't see his car, you know, or wait, did you have his car? Or do you have your own car, Llewllyn?
I mean, I know that in the trappings it says it's his car.
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine maybe like at some point, like they took away his license.
Okay, fair enough.
That's maybe why I have the car now.
I like it. He's not here. He wasn't here when you got home, but that's not that surprising. You did what you could to find some food for, you know, you and Allison, grab some food. The two of you here, this is like a shared scene. And you wake up in the morning, you go out, you know, into the kitchen, there's all sorts of bills on the table, past due, eviction notice, 30 days warning. The only food you're able to find is this Ham's brand canned beef, this really old bread, and you can see that there's a broken 6-pack of Crystal Lager in the refrigerator. And you can see that, like, the door to your dad's room is closed. And it was closed last night as well. You heard, like, the TV, so you assumed he was here. When you peek in, see if he's awake, he's not here. But the TV is still going. But it's like static.
Well, maybe gonna do like some beer braised mystery meat. It's the only way I know to make it edible.
It's fine. We'll just cut it in thirds and leave some for him in the fridge.
I'm sorry about your friend. That was.
I want to go to the pharmacy today and drop off the instant camera, the disposable camera, and get those
Oh, yeah. No problem.
pictures
Yeah.
developed.
You could definitely do that on the way.
And see if any of that shows through in any of the pictures.
It's a really good idea.
It was so weird.
Okay. Actually, now that I'm thinking about, I'm not hungry. You can take mine.
You should still eat, and I'll like grab a took some stale bread and toasted it up a little bit. Like you should still eat.
Mm,
You've got practice later, right?
no, that's a
Is
good
that
point.
today?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Good point. I'm glad you're here. At least one of us thinks about things. Ah.
As you two
Do
are
you have time
talking,
to?
you hear the TV from your dad's room suddenly go from static to like the briefest of weather reports. And it's just like clear skies throughout the day. It's gonna be way better than back to static.
I'm gonna walk over to the TV and do that old school TV thing of just like hitting it.
Mhm.
When you walk over to the TV, you do notice that there's something on the screen.
What is on the screen?
It looks like a chunk of Ham's brand meat. It's just kind of sitting there, like stuck to the glass of the screen.
I'm gonna peel it off.
So you go, when you reach down to grab it, you see it move. Just
I'm just gonna yell, Lou, get one of your, like, get your hockey stick or something.
All right. Yeah. I'll like grab a baseball bat or something.
Don't smash it, because he'll be mad. But what the hell?
I don't know, but
I'm gonna try to take my shoe off to try to do a coordinated, like, I'll like knock it off the TV and then maybe
Right.
you can like smash it.
okay. So on 3, and we both know 3 means when you say 3, because we're twins. We actually get that. We don't
We
mess
get
that up.
No, we don't.
Llewllyn, make a force test. You get a +1 from Allison helping.
All right. Get my character sheet back up and force. Oh yeah, that's right. I get a bonus dice.
So you managed to very cleanly and without damaging the TV in the least, just knock it right off. You knock this big chunk of meat, which smashes against the wall near an outlet. Right as it detaches from the TV, you can see that the static just goes away, and all of a sudden it's the bright it's like kind of a brightly colored, but a little bit, it's through the old school vacuum TVs. It doesn't look that great, so it's a little bit saturated.
It was great at the time.
Yeah, it was great at the time, but all of a sudden you're hearing like, oh yeah, hopefully no more storms this afternoon. We're taking a look at it, and you see a guy is just like standing in front of like this different color, like oranges and red screen that just shows endurance in the surrounding areas, and it's just like, yeah, it looks like we're finally gonna get that cold front coming in just in time for the holidays. Yeah, so it's probably a good time to start getting those wood fireplaces up and running. Clean them suckers out. You don't want to have any problems, not like last year. And they're just kind of going back and forth.
I want to go with the shoe that I knocked it off of the TV with, so that it could get hit. I want to poke it.
Okay, so you rush over and you try to get it, and you can see this thing is just like moving across the wall towards the outlet. And
I'm gonna put
roll
my
a move
shoe over
test.
the outlet.
Roll a move test, Allison.
All right.
They're going like, as it like moves across.
You manage to smack at it, but half of that meat just slithers inside of the outlet, but you manage to catch like the other half.
I hope it made that sound.
What the hell?
As you're
I'm doing the very like stereotypical like teen girl response to something that slithers. Just like I'm trying to like beat at it and get it away.
As you're standing there, like on your dad's side of the bed, you look over and you can see that there's like a whole mess load of crystal lager, like beer cans on the ground. You can see there's a broken framed photo of your mom. You can see there's a half-open can of Ham's meat. Looks like some of it's missing, just laying there on the ground. And you can see that like one of your dad's shoes is there as well.
hate our life so much.
On that note, you guys look around for a bit. Still see no signs of your dad.
I want to box up the other half of the meat
Okay.
thing.
Yeah.
Like a shoebox or something that I just want to put it in.
No problem.
I'm a little concerned. I don't think our dad has that many pairs of shoes, so having one shoe here possibly means he went walking one-shoed and drunk somewhere.
Maybe. Is it still squirming now that she puts it in the box?
Oh yeah, it's squirming like crazy.
Oh my god, do we have like some duct tape or something?
Yeah. Grab some duct tape, tape the box up, nice and good. Now you have a box filled with meat that's squirming.
Oh,
But it's time to go to school. So you stop, everyone starts heading there in your various ways. Some of you ride bikes, some of you hitch rides with neighbors. Llewllyn picks a few of you up. You guys go to school. How does school go for everybody?
so Allison, should we bring the box to school? Like, it's disgusting, but I kind of want to show everybody.
I think we should.
Totally.
I might actually go to biology class today, maybe, and show Mr. P that thing.
Oh my
It
god,
might
you're
actually
so
make
smart.
worth going to class today.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Okay. Let's have that scene. So you go over just before biology class starts. You see a handful of folks. There's Edward and Levi, Nicola. I will say everyone's in the class. Llewllyn sits down. You go ahead and you start talking to Mr. P. Mr. P is his hairline challenged, a little bit of comb over, but he's a very friendly man. He often tells you stories about he was almost a doctor. I think he was going to be a doctor, but then he had trouble with organic chemistry. It was rough, but he doesn't want to talk about it too much. But anyway, he's a really, really big fan of the Raiders, and so there's all sorts of different photos of the Raiders and stuff in the room. He's got this picture of him and Lyle Alzado. And you get the sense after you've been talking to him that he used to be a designer, a guy who designed steroids and stuff. And you're going, So you talk to him, you ask him about it. Do you open? He's like, meat? What? It's just, I know it's not the greatest meat in the world, but it's just, I mean, you probably shouldn't be eating it. But anyone who eats meat out of a can, you're kind of throwing caution to the wind to begin with, right?
I feel like Allison would open it sort of to the full effect of sort of almost the prank open of a box that has something moving in it. Sort of the right under the face, cut all of the tape to be able to just
if this is
flop
a
it open.
joke, if there's something in here and I'm going to fall on my ass and you're all going to laugh at me for the next 3 weeks and be very upset with you, Allison, there's going to be detention. That's what it's going to be.
Meat that moves. Meat that moves.
And he looks in
1,
there.
2, 3.
And he takes a little pen, starts poking around. Go sit down. I got class to teach.
I drop the box down to the level of the desk and peek over at it.
Yeah. And it's just gross, dried, kind of graying ham's meat product at this point, but is most certainly not moving.
I look over at my brother and just sort of shrug,
Okay.
damn it. I take
Did
the
you forget
box
to
back.
put a hole in the box?
No, I didn't put a hole in the damn box. It was moving meat. I don't give a shit if it breathes.
So you guys sit through biology class for a bit, and then let's say you get lunch. You get a lunch hour. So all of you are, wherever you would normally eat lunch. You wouldn't eat. This isn't a group that would eat lunch in the cafeteria, right? This is somewhere that you'd find the bleachers or some random other spot to eat. But all of you are together. You've been in school for a couple hours. You've all had your own little incidents.
I wanted to try one last thing, Jeff, before I went to school in the morning. I want to try and place a long distance phone call.
Okay. Yeah. Who are you calling?
Just one of my buddies that gets me scalp tickets.
Okay.
Several towns over.
Okay. Eddie? Is that you, man?
Yeah. Hey, do me a solid. This is going to sound a little strange. What day is it?
It's like, I don't know, like the 7th or something, man.
Okay. What's the date? What's today's date?
I didn't know there was going to be like quiz questions in this phone call. But
It's 6:30. Are you already hitting the weed?
dude, I haven't
Man, we
gone to
talked
sleep
about this. It
yet.
cuts into business.
I was pretty busy last night. Never mind. Don't worry about it. And then he'll tell you the date, and then eventually he'll get it, and it's the same date. As
It
yours.
is.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it's just weird stuff on the net today. No problem.
Man, it's a wild place, man. I love this. I love it. I don't think I'm ever gonna go outside again. I'm so glad that Al Gore guy. I'm so glad he invented it. This is fantastic. Oh man.
Yeah. It's not a series of tubes, man.
What? Okay. I found some photo. Never mind. Don't worry about it. I gotta go. Oh God, I need to sleep.
All right. So yeah, weird. Okay, I'm gonna rip those printouts off the dot matrix, shove them in the bag, and go to school, I guess.
Okay. All right. So it's lunchtime. You're all together. What's everybody doing?
I was gonna like motion Edward over. Be like,
Yeah.
I got something you gotta see. I think you're the only person who's gonna understand what this is. I'll just kind of crack the bag open.
You got a little jar in there. You've got two things in here. You've got a jar of sand, and you've got a jar with the bug in it. Now the jar of sand, is back to normal. It's not glowing anymore. What's up, party wipe? Yes, I love Flood. I'm having way too much fun with this. The jar of sand is not glowing at all. The jar with the bug's going crazy, just going ape shit, just bouncing off the walls.
Oh. It was not quite this excited last night, but like some sort of electronic thing going on here. And it looks like it really wants whatever this sand is. I don't know.
You haven't some sand?
No, I mean, I only got this much. It put a hole in my window coming inside and started putting a hole in my bag. I'll kind of show them where I assume it started tearing up the fabric on my bag.
It also ate half of a pen.
Yeah, I don't know if I have that handy or not, but
Yeah, you can
I
show
see
him
my
half a
word.
pen. That's fine. Easy enough.
I
don't
hate
have
bugs.
pens.
Weird, man. I don't know. What kind of bug is it, dude? Like,
I don't know. I'm looking for a technology expert's opinion here.
Yeah, I mean, you could take a look at it, and when you point out the stuff, everyone can see it. Like, it's got these, you can see there's these almost like little microchips here and there, and like there's a little flashing, little tiny, very dim flashing light underneath one of the wings when it flutters up. You also notice that there's on the underside, it's almost like there's a panel, like almost like a semi-metallic panel where some of it's been kind of rubbed off, like the paint or whatever.
Does it look more like a bug that has chips implanted in it, or like a bug made completely out of technology?
Okay. You can roll a test for this if you want to kind of examine. If you like, you can do kind of investigate. You can tinker if you want to do a tech thing. If you just kind of want to mess around with the circuitry, or if it's really just if you're just trying to like look at it, understand it, and just kind of really like do a good just physical observation of it without kind of trying to break it down. You can do like a comprehend if you want.
Yeah, I'm wanting to save
I'll
anybody.
start with the
touching it.
comprehend.
Anybody touching it for Bert's character, Edward.
Okay.
I'll take a look at it, and while I'm looking at it, just like, hey, here, look at this. So I printed out the picture, I printed out the news story, and just like that snippet of conversation.
Okay.
It's like,
So you're trading stuff.
look at the date.
With the success, Nicholas, yeah, you would know that none of this, none of the, like when you you look at it, it doesn't. No, this doesn't. Like nothing's flaking off. Everything's really perfect and symmetrical. There's no kind of irregularities to like the grains of the wings and such. No, you think this is probably manufactured of some kind. Like it's not. Yeah, this isn't a natural bug or something. It looks more like it was built.
Kind of hoping like it'll run out of power eventually, and then we can look at it. But I don't know.
Anything that small and electronic here. I bet I've got a degausser or a magnet on me because I gotta wipe things that might be incriminating. Put it up to the glass and see if it affects it.
Yeah, you can see once you do that, it's pushing to the other side of the jar. Like it's trying to put distance between it. And it's like you see it's kind of sluggishly, like the fluttering of the wings slows considerably.
Oh, and not only is it miniaturized, it's got some kind of AI. I mean, whoa.
It wants the sand, right? Like,
As far as I can tell, I mean, this shit was like glowing last night. It was pretty weird.
see if you can give it a little sand. You know,
I bet it's
maybe it's
powered.
just hungry.
I bet it's solar powered. I doubt this thing. Let's cover it up for a while and see what
I mean,
happens.
I've been keeping it in my bag all day.
Oh,
so,
okay. Yeah.
I want to open the jar up to put anything in it out of fear it'll get out. I mean, this thing's
Did you
Hold
give
the
it any
magnet over
breathing
Yeah.
holes?
the lid.
no breathing holes now.
Yeah, that's a
You
good
and your
idea.
fucking holes, Nikki.
We could throw some sand in there if we hold the magnet above the lid. It seems like it doesn't want to go towards it.
Smart.
You know, keep it in place.
Maybe
Nice.
this might be something to do when we're not on lunch, but
Okay.
I don't want to get too much attention here.
You guys probably, I mean, like I said, you guys are sort of a loner crew. You found your own little place. You're not really, and no one's really bothering you.
Allison has a random idea.
Uh-huh.
Can I see a little bit of that sand?
Sure. I mean,
Just a
The
little bit.
sand's not from the person, was it?
no, it was just from the ground around him.
And I'm
Okay.
gonna like look in the box,
Mhm.
and I'm assuming it's not moving at the moment still.
What
The
the
meat.
bug?
The meat.
Oh, the meat. Yeah, the meat. If you still have it, yeah, the meat is just like a really old, gross piece of hamburger at this point.
Okay, so I'm gonna be like, "Hey, Steve, put a little of the sand on the meat. I just want to see what happens."
Put a little bit on it.
Okay.
And I watch the meat in the box.
Yeah. So you watch, and you see it. You see it just expand ever so slightly, shiver, and then contract again.
And I looked to everybody else, like, everybody saw that, right? Right? Everybody saw that?
I don't know if I can ever eat hams again.
Yeah, that's weird, man. Like, meat shouldn't wiggle like that after it's been cooked.
That's what it did at our house this morning, and it went like in the outlet. Like it moved itself in the
Guys,
outlet.
that's really odd, but what do you think about this news story? I mean, according to this town's going to be leveled in a week.
That tells you 1 week?
Is it 1 or 2
It's like
weeks?
3.5. I don't. I'll look up the almanac to get the date specifically for you, but like this is like second week of. You're in second week in November, so it's like 2 to 3 weeks.
Well, that's
And you don't think it was just your friend playing a trick on you? With,
You know, I checked, like the photograph, it's legit. This is an actual photograph. It wasn't manipulated. The data doesn't show that anyone went in there to do any kind of, fakery to it. It's absolutely legit. I mean, you can't fake these timestamps. And yeah, the people I know online could be, pulling my leg, but the photograph.
I mean, you don't think that they just like set the clock forward and took a picture or something?
You
Hey,
know,
who does leap forward by like weeks?
Well, I mean, who turns into a organic sand? I mean, come
I
on.
like, listen, like, coincidences happen, but like,
I mean, look what it says, level the city. It's a dust storm. It says levels the city.
That's that crazy lightning sand last night. But yeah, like electric
Are we all
bug
dead?
and
Is this
dancing
hell?
meat. God, that would suck.
If we are dead and we're in hell, we can still collect calls. So,
All right, maybe it's just like heck.
I mean, that checks out.
Was anyone else in school talking about the dust storm yesterday? Or like, has anybody else talked about the dust storm?
Oh yeah, people have been talking here and there. You can see that there's a bunch of other people that are sitting nearby. If you want to go listen, just kind of eavesdrop or something like that.
I'd be curious to do that. See if anyone mentions anything about what we saw with like things turning into sand.
So I would say you can either just do just like a general charm test or a contact test if there's like someone specific that you want to identify that's just kind of like the gossipy person who's willing to talk to you, something like that. Either one of those I would take. Whoever wants to do it. Nicholas Allison, I
I'm
think
not fantastic at that.
So it's fine. Even if you
I
fail,
can do it, man.
something interesting could happen.
People don't notice when I show up, man. Like, just rocking out.
All right, so Levi, go ahead and roll it.
What am I rolling again?
You can either say contact if there's someone you specifically want to designate as like the gossip girl and like you can get info from, or if you just want to go like chat some people up, you can just roll charm.
I'm gonna do charm.
Okay.
Oh, I'm upset.
And for every success you get, I will give you a rumor.
I get one rumor.
You want to push for more? And don't forget, by the way, other things that you can use to get additional successes. You could always use, like, you could tap into your shame once per session to use that to add a success, even after you've rolled. If it makes sense, you'd have to explain how it would make sense.
Oh my god. Oh yeah, I'm not bringing up my shame. No,
Okay.
it's too shameful. I'll push it. Did our conditions reset overnight?
I'll say, yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll say at some point between last night and this morning, you probably could have had a scene with your anchors.
Still one success.
Okay. So is there a specific thing you're asking about?
Well, we were just seeing if anyone else, like, any weird shit happened to you guys in that sandstorm last night? Like, crazy, like, lightning and, like, bugs and, like...
Okay.
Okay.
No one... Okay, so you mentioned bugs.
Mm-hmm.
So something comes up, actually. So, like, oh my god, yes, oh my god. So, like, my family this morning and, like, the whole block, like, we're woken up at, like 4 o'clock in the morning, and they made us leave, and they put these big old colorful tents on our houses, and they said, like, there's, like, freaking wasp or something, and, like, I guess one of my neighbors, like, their cat was, like, I don't know, stung by a wasp and, like, died. Like, their head just sort of, like, blew up like a balloon. It just exploded. And, like, oh, my God. And now we can't go there. So now we're having to stay in, like, some... They wanted to put us in the Lucky Stars Motel. I'm like, excuse me, I am a lady. No, I'm not going. It's ridiculous.
Oh my gosh, man. Like, you'll get, like, the herp or something from just, like, walking by that place. That's a good call not to go there.
The herp? What?
Herpes.
Oh, my God. No.
See? It's a good
Ooh.
thing you didn't go there, man.
Levi,
Like,
you're so gross. Oh, my God. You're so
you know,
gross.
is what it is. You still like it. Don't lie.
A little bit.
All right.
When is your band playing again? Oh, my God.
Oh man, let's see. The next Scrag 121 concert's gonna be in like a week or two, man.
Drag
We-
121? Oh, my God. It's
Yeah.
so good. Ugh, I love
Yeah,
your
we
name.
got thanks. We got some new generators. We're just gonna set up on the salt flats.
Oh, when are you going to write me a song?
When are you gonna remind me what your name is?
Oh, I don't know. You know, it's Tiffany.
Tiffany? As soon as I find a word that rhymes with Tiffany, I'll
That's
write you
true.
that song.
That's true. There's not a lot of words that rhymes with Tiffany. There's like Spiffany.
Epiphany, that's
Epiphany. What does that mean?
it. It means like a giant realization in your life. Like,
You realize you like me. That's what it is. Anyway.
we'll go with that. We'll go with that. Thanks for the info.
Okay. Bye-bye. I gotta go take a shit.
Good.
Sorry.
Good
I wanted to get Jared with it. So she waves. Okay. She's very open. Sorry,
You know,
I made myself laugh with that.
That's great.
Oh, goodness.
I had my doubts about Tiffany, but you can't fault someone for just putting it out there like that.
Anyway, but yeah, that's the one reference that you heard. Oh man, for bugs.
All right, I'll share that with the crew. Like, yeah, I guess Tiffany, like, they got evacuated because some strange, they said wasps, but bugs like took over their house and like bit someone and their fucking like head exploded and shit.
A person's head exploded?
Hey, that's what Tiffany said.
No,
But
it's like a pet's head exploded. Oh my god! You would hear Tiffany's voice.
Uh-huh. Oh no, yeah, it was a pet. Like, yeah. Like old Fido, like fucking blew up, man.
Oh my god, look at Jeremy. Yes, that's the only piece of information you got.
That's fantastic. Do you take a condition for rerolls?
Yeah, you do. You got to bark one.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Okay. Maybe I'm a little scared about the size of what she's about to drop. Okay. Like, what do you guys think? Like, I'm here to look good and rock out. I need some help with the thinking.
So we had a major dust storm, and now we have meat that moves, and bugs made of computers, but small, and sand that glows, and the world is ending in 3 days.
3
weeks. 3 weeks. Might as well be 3 days. What difference does it make? It's ending.
A few weeks.
Hey, wait a minute. I start looking around on the ceilings. Weren't they gonna film an episode of that Candid Camera somewhere around here? Start looking around for cameras.
Look around. No cameras here. They can't afford that here. Yeah, you don't see anything.
I mean, I don't have anything better to guess than, like, what's up with her dad? Like the one you saw the badge for?
Look, the mechanical insect, there's no technology that's that miniaturized. If you really want to know what it is, look, my dad works in a research lab. Probably be able to figure out. I mean, maybe it's Russian tech or something. I mean, they're not supposed to be ahead of us, but
You never know.
Does your dad work at the military base? Okay.
yeah, he's a civilian contractor.
So if that's the case, you would know that the ID, because your dad would have a similar ID. This one's a little dated though. Like this one, they've updated them at some point. Like just the sort of the basic layout of it, because if Allison would have gotten, like, if she would have been to like a photo, like a quick photo, you could say you dropped the photos off last night and you picked them up on your way to school in the morning, and you're going through them, you would be able to recognize that this is definitely an ID for Fort Upchurch, but it's outdated.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, this new security protocols, they've updated this thing, but maybe it's one of their projects. Escape military project.
Maybe. I mean, it seems weird it was after, like, this sand in particular is what it felt like to me. I mean, are two of them related?
Still want to give it some sand.
Was one, like, hunting the other?
I don't know, but everything she said, and we saw a missing girl turn into sand and basically die. I mean, should we be reporting this to somebody?
Probably.
Do we need adults?
Well, yeah, but I mean, which of them's gonna
well,
listen to
Oh
us?
man, what
I'm
if the
worried
sand
about
is
that,
like full of the
'cause-
life energy of the things that it drained?
Can I get that
I'm
one?
worried
off?
about
yeah, like
who we
like-
talk
like
to.
flies digest their meat before they eat it. Maybe like since it's mechanical, it digests you by turning you into a sand, pulls
Oh
the
my
silicon
God.
out.
All right. Well, let's try and like give it some of the sand yet before we go talk to anybody.
Okay.
Maybe get that
Well,
magnet.
Are you sure it made meat move? Do you want to have like some super robot
Yeah.
bug?
I'm just saying we'll give it like a couple grains and we'll see what it does.
Do we have like French fries or some other type of food?
Of
Oh, we
course.
should do that first.
Yeah, you have some tater tots.
So I'm gonna hold out a tater tot and be like, "Hey, Steve, try putting some sand on this because I want to see if the sand will interact with other things that were previously acting regular."
Oh,
Okay.
We got
you're
a
so
couple things.
smart, Allison.
So you sprinkle some of the dirt onto the tater tot. Nothing seems to happen.
That was a good idea.
I'm gonna say
Maybe
I'm
it
kind
has to
of
be
worried
meat.
about who we talk to. I didn't really put anything or think anything of it last night, but my house kind of got raided.
What?
Which isn't that out of the ordinary, but it's weird that it was military that was there.
Your parents never
We're
came
seeing
home,
all this
by
other
the
kind of
way.
weird stuff.
Never came
What was
home.
that?
I said your parents never came home, by the way.
Oh, okay. Well, that's also not that weird. But the fact that it was military kind of stands out. And they said they were looking for my brother, which he's usually in trouble with the law, but not
Did
particularly
that
the
dumbass
military.
steal something from the military?
Could have.
Hmm.
Probably.
I could maybe go talk to the sergeant. I mean, he's military, but he's pretty cool. Basically,
So if you ever
Llewellyn's
wrestle
anchor
with
is a
some stuff
sergeant.
and-
Yeah. Okay.
Well, no
Might
one's hearing
freak
me.
out
I've been
about it.
muted. I've had some,
You're talking this whole time?
yes, I
No.
had some great one-liners.
Oh,
I
that's a
didn't
shame.
realize I was muted. I was going to say, why don't we take that jar with the bug and stick it next to the meat?
Hmm.
See, like maybe like the sand animates the meat, and then the meat crawls to the fly.
I don't know.
Why?
I don't
But
know.
we just set the three of them in like a triangle to see which one the bug tries to go after more.
But did the
Put 'em
bug
in a
react
weird
at all to the
triangle
meat
with
if we moved it over by it?
Hmm.
If you put them next to each other, yeah, you can see that the bug kind of, it doesn't go crazy towards it or anything like that, but it does kind of, if you move the magnet off of it and you give it free rein, it will start to kind of buzz up against the side of the jar where the meat is, which, by the way, is still.
Is the meat
Still has sand on it.
reacting to
If
the...
I
It's hard to
Right,
discern
so-
whether or not the meat's reacting. It's been very subtly pulsing ever since you sprinkled the dirt on it.
if I like grab the meat and kind of shake the sand off of it, so it's normal
Oh
again.
no, it
and I-
absorbed the sand, the dirt.
Oh,
Oh.
You
Uh,
don't see it anymore.
Can you like try and like cut a little slice of that meat off?
You going to try a taste?
Oh no,
Dude,
I'm
don't
not.
eat it. No.
Go put it in the jar.
You're weird, man. I like it.
God.
Who's got a pocket knife?
I have a switchblade. Pop that out.
He does.
Pocket
Okay.
knives are for losers. He's got a switchblade.
Get on my
Yeah,
level.
cut it.
That's not a knife. Now that's a knife.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I quickly at the mention of who has a knife just
In this group, who
I
doesn't
do.
have a knife? Okay, so what are you doing with the knife? Stabbing someone?
nope,
Roll force.
not yet. I'm going to just like kind of nick a corner out of that
Okay.
meat
Sure.
and
You're trying to
hold the magnet above the jar, open it,
Okay.
drop it in,
Alright.
work it again.
Yeah, you do see that it has a reaction. It kind of, like the bug does seem to react to it. You can see it kind of spreads its wings, and you can see like these spikes kind of emerge from it. These very tiny little spikes kick out, and then something. It excretes something.
Do what now?
It excretes something. These little tiny spikes come out from underneath the two big wings, and you can see a little tiny bit of some kind of what looks like kind of greenish liquid. Just gets very so slightly excreted.
Is it putting it like on the meat?
Yeah, yeah. You didn't put a lot in there, so it's struggling a bit, but it's trying. It seems like.
like the.
What is it trying to do? Is it trying to like cover it in the green?
It's not that
stuff,
much. It's a
or-
very subtle amount. It's more like it's trying to inject it.
It's weird.
Like
like-
stab into it and inject it.
Well played, Ed. Well played.
Oh man.
I'll cut it in half and take one of the halves of meat and drop it in, so it's got more to mess with.
Okay. And so
Put
yeah,
some sand in there too,
and at
man.
that
Just-
point, it climbs up on top of the meat, and you can see like the spikes just almost like it's giving it an injection. And at this
As, like-
point, you can see Llewllyn that your ROTC. What's his name again?
Sergeant Kendall Beckett.
Yeah, and so you can see Sergeant Kendall is. You can see him passing by. He's like kind of heading towards his office. He's kind of going through some papers and such. So if you wanted to grab him, now's a good time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably I'll just like step away, like trying to hold back vomit from what I'm looking at, and
Okay.
I'm glad for an excuse to step away.
Well, hey there, Llewllyn. How you doing? You don't look so good. Look a little-
It's been a weird day, night, morning.
Oh, what happened?
A whole lot of stuff. Nicholas said MPs came by the house, and there's this weird sand stuff, and I watched meat move this morning, like on its own, and then there's like a robot bug trying to like inject the meat, and like
Listen, Llewllyn, you can tell me anything you want, but
I'm
we've
not on
been
anything.
through this. Honesty is primary policy here, and if I think maybe you're hanging
I'm
out
too
with
stupid
Nicholas.
to make this up, okay?
Listen, I went to school with Nicholas's older brother. I know what he does for a living. I know what he peddles, and I gotta tell you, if you want to have any kind of way up in the ranks, you can't be on it, man. So why don't you go ahead and just drink some water, and it'll wear off after a little while. All right? And he kind of just
Okay.
claps you on the shoulder a little bit. All right.
But
If there's anything I can do for you, just let me know. But got to stop doing the DRUGS, if you know what I'm saying.
I'm not. I'm clean.
I just told you honesty. Now, you guys would know, by the way, mechanically speaking, adults are not here to help you. Like, you're kind of on your own. They're always going to be either not there or not particularly helpful. Like, your anchor will definitely, like, console you and stuff like that. But, like, it's kind of to you.
not gonna
to some
solve
Progress wise,
Yeah,
they
like-
don't.
Okay.
do much.
Yeah.
Get
So,
an
like,
upper coming through with bail money.
like, obviously you're going to engage with plenty of adult NPCs and stuff who will push you along to do various stuff, but like in terms of like him giving you anything with this, he's just going to assume you're full of shit right now. Like, okay, all right, now be careful with them MPs, by the way, because I heard that they were hauling something fierce through Wheeler Street last night, so they had a busy night. So I don't know whatever Nicholas's older brother did, but they I don't know, they were pretty active. So anyway, one of these days, that could be you. You like that? You like the sound of that?
No.
Nope.
God, no.
No, I meant like you would be them, doing the righteous thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, sure. Okay.
But you can't be getting high out with your friends. I know he's your cousin, but
No, I don't know. Like, that's going to screw up my, like, performance and stuff. So, like, no way.
exactly. All right. Well, I'm glad we had this talk.
Me too?
All right. Now, don't you got class or something?
I think so. Yeah.
All right. Well, you hang in there. It's gonna be a weird couple hours while that stuff gets out of your system. Hey, I wasn't always an adult ROTC representative at Endurance High School. I was young once too. And so he starts wandering off, chuckling to himself.
Honesty isn't worth anything if nobody believes you.
That jackass was.
So at this point, the bell rings, and it's time to go back to class. Do you guys want to do more at school, or do we want to move ahead to after school?
Honestly, I think I'm just waiting till we can get together next. And
Okay.
What grade was the girl that disintegrated in?
Senior.
And she's been missing
Since
more than a
Halloween.
year.
No,
Okay,
since
so
Halloween. Just like
so
March.
her graduating class is over with, and they're not still in the high school.
No, this is her
that's our
senior year.
class.
This
Yeah,
is
this is her senior year.
Okay. I want to try and find some of her friends or the people that she hung out with.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, everyone kind of knew her. She was pretty well liked. She wasn't the popular kid. People kind of liked her because she was like the counterculture kid, you know. She was the one who, you know, who was wearing like the military jacket before it became trendy, you know, and she was getting into like the grunge music and stuff while some people were still clinging to like hair bands and stuff like that. You knew that she was like a huge, like she just loved Seattle. And when you start talking to them, like, and you're like, you know, asking like what, one of them's like, oh yeah, she's fine. She called her mom. Apparently everything's fine.
Oh, so she's reached out. They found her.
Well, yeah, apparently. I talked to Sue, who talked to Dan, and Dan then talked to Melanie, and she said that her mom got a phone call last night, and it was from Alice, and I guess she ran away to Seattle or something. She wanted to be a groupie for that Nirvana band and everything, but hey, you know, whatever. But no, she just checked. I don't think she's coming back or anything like that, but I certainly made her mom feel better.
Okay. Did I get to the body before it completely disintegrated enough to know what she was wearing when we saw her?
No, but other people did, and plus you have pictures.
We had a picture, yeah.
Yeah.
You got a picture, okay.
Yeah, we were just flipping through the ones that I got developed.
Yeah. So I can't remember the last time I saw her. I mean, she was wearing. Describe the outfit.
Okay.
Was it the last thing that they remember her wearing?
Yeah, man, it sounds like her dad's jacket. She wore it all the time. But Allison would know. And because we established this last time, because Allison was at the Halloween party. That was the last, like, the clothes she was wearing were what she was wearing the night of the Halloween party when she disappeared. And no one had seen her since. There was talk about it for, like, all last week. But then, towards the end of last week, some weird kind of, not an experiment, some kind of warning signals started kind of going out of the military base, and like it kind of started screwing up everyone's like TV signals and things, and everyone kind of got distracted, and we thought, oh my god, World War III type of stuff was going on, and it ended up just being like some kind of electrical wiring thing. But it got people, I mean, people were just like all freaking out about it, and then and no one's really gone back to talking about Alice at that point.
Okay, all right. Yeah, it's great that she reached out then, I guess. Be shame that she's not graduating with us.
Yeah, but you know, what's a diploma gonna get you, right? At least she's out of here.
Exactly. Right on.
Hey, you got any of that? Never mind.
Oh yeah, what's your locker number?
423.
Ah, you find a little something in there.
Okay, and she just she like very so subtly like kind of she tries to like really subtly like slip you like a wadded up like $20 bill or whatever, how much it costs, how much you charge.
Ah, this one's on me. Hey, thanks.
Okay, all right.
Slide a little baggie and the little vents that all the lockers have.
Okay, fair enough.
Flip it
I
right.
find you guys. Hey, the girl, supposedly she called her family, like, and said that she wasn't missing or taken or abducted, and has been following a band around this whole time.
Well, didn't last night when we heard it, we heard the phone was ringing and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we heard a phone call, and then when we listened back to it, we didn't hear any voices.
Well, no, we did. We heard
Right.
some panic voices.
That's weird. I bet.
What
it's-
was different when we listened back to the recording?
I mean, I'm trying to remember which one we couldn't hear when we listened back to it. Was it her
Wasn't
voice?
it
Was it
her voice calling for help?
You couldn't hear her when you listened back.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
All you heard was the
I
dial
heard it.
tones.
The first time I heard it.
Hmm.
Did not sound good.
right.
Yeah.
So you guys go back to class, do your things. Couple other things you hear. Like you've heard, more than one person talk about like the inconvenience of getting their house put up on tents. There's this one like sophomore kid, and she's just like bawling to tears, and she keeps just talking about like her dog, like Fluffy move. Oh my God, Fluffy move! I can't believe that. And so she's very upset about it all. You can hear, like there's this one other person that maybe is like in the audio visual club or whatever, who's talking about like it leans over to, let's see, who probably lean over to Levi. Like,
Yeah.
Listen to the radio last night.
Yeah, man. Some like there's some weird like static and stuff, man, and that one song kept playing.
It ain't a song, man. I heard like dial tones for like 6
yeah.
hours, man. And then there was like a freaking sloppy Joe recipe. Like, what was that about?
That was weird, man. Like,
I don't get it.
Maybe like it's some of that like artsy stuff, like like that old like War of the Worlds thing, man. Like,
War of the what?
is that what it was? Where like the dude pretended aliens were
Or the
attacking?
radio show.
Yeah.
Man, I didn't know you were one of them alien freaks. What's wrong with you?
I'm not, man. Like, I just remember hearing about it on TV.
Yeah, okay, whatever. Anyway. But yeah, like 6 hours, man. And then like, who needs a damn sloppy Joe recipe? It's sloppy Joe. Like,
Right.
you just
I mean,
mix the meat with the sauce and then that's it, right?
that's it. You put it on a fucking bun and you're done, man.
Wait, you put them on a bun?
Well, you can. Like, I
Yeah.
like to get the buns and put the sloppy Joe on the top. Eat it with the fork. It's like, like an open face sandwich.
You eat it with a fork. Open
Yeah,
face.
man.
Who are you?
Fuck you, man. Like, you gotta live a little.
Real life. That's a great way to eat sloppy Joe.
Okay. So yeah, the day ends. You guys get. Does anyone have an after-school job?
Well, when you say job,
An actual
Yeah.
job, employment at a store and/or facility of some kind?
No, my character
No.
good. It doesn't.
You do
My mom
hear
won't
a
let me
couple of the
work.
dudes, especially around the sports team, Lou, and it's like you hear that Hams is doing like they're doing like day labor stuff. We're thinking about like skipping class tomorrow and maybe just like going and helping them.
No, screw those guys. They're gonna short you some way or another. It's not gonna be worth it.
No, dude, it's like $100 a day. Like that's like
It's not
really
that
good.
cash, man.
Like
No,
I don't know
man.
what the hell happened there yesterday, but like they just need all sorts of people to just like move stuff. Like you don't even have to know how to use tools or anything.
Will you? Something happened there, or they just?
Oh yeah,
That's a good
like
point.
something got knocked over or whatever in the dust storms or something, and like now they just need to fix it or whatever it is. They just want people to like they're like building. You didn't see all the freaking trucks this morning?
No.
Oh, there's just a bunch of trucks, like dump trucks, like 3 of them, man. I guess they're just I don't know what the hell happened, but anyway. But yeah, we're going. Coach says it's
I don't know,
okay
man.
as long as we don't make a stink of it. But we gotta be back for practice though.
Okay, I'll think about it.
And you think too much, and then he just kind of leaves at that point.
I've not been accused of that too much.
So you've got the rest of the day. What are you guys looking to do? Frame whatever scene you want.
I gotta make a quick phone call.
Okay, you find one of the ample amounts of payphones on the high school grounds to make your phone call. Who are you calling?
I gotta call mom, right? Gotta check in and shit so
Okay.
she ain't freaking out again.
Okay. She's like, it's 3:07.
Yeah, school's out.
Yeah, it got out at 3.
Yeah, I had to stop and pick up some extra homework stuff. I needed a little help. It's math. You know I'm bad at math. Like 2 + 4 is like chair and shit. Like I don't get it.
Okay. You don't gotta get upset. You're a bright boy. You'll be fine.
Well,
Just
I'm gonna
Study
I'm
real
gonna s-
hard.
I will. I'm gonna swing by and visit Grandpa. Then I'm gonna go hang out with my my buddy Llewllyn and his sister Allison for a little bit.
For how long?
I'll be home before dark.
Why can't you just hang out at the trailer? Why can't they just come hang out with you?
Because I don't want them to have to smell how sad it is in there.
You know, I just try to make a nice home for you.
All right.
I'm sorry
Mom.
that my home, our home, embarrasses you, Levi. I'm sorry.
All right. I'm sorry.
No.
I shouldn't have said that.
No, that's fine. I might be home late, so I can pick up some cleaning supplies. Goodbye. And she just clicks and hangs up the phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm good to go, guys. Like,
There's a few things I want to do.
Okay, let's hear
I want to stop in with my neighbors and see if my family, like my parents, had shown back up.
Okay.
Either of them had.
Does anybody? Do you want to have anyone go with you, or are you doing this by yourself?
Well, there's like a few things. They can follow me. That's fine if anyone
Okay.
wants to. Basically, I want to see if my parents came home. I want to talk to my anchor, the wizardly hobo guy. I imagine his name's Horace.
Horace?
That just sounds like
All
a
right.
fitting name for him.
Put that in your character sheet because I'll look for it later. Horace is a wonderful name. Okay.
All right.
So you talk to
Horace.
you go ahead and you talk to your neighbor, and your brother got off to school just fine and everything, and he's in the after school program, so you don't got to worry about him. You got a couple hours before you got to pick him up, but your dad never came home, but your mom did stop by during the morning, and apparently she's just all in like a huff about like your father and about like, you know, people just doing whatever they want. There's just no respect for the law anymore, and they just accuse him of this and they accuse him of that and da 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 da. You know, like, we can't afford that kind of bail money. And where's your damn brother? And so she just apparently she was just unable to get your dad out of jail, and still no word on where your older brother is.
Okay. He wasn't there when the MPs showed up?
Your older brother? No.
No. Okay. Then I'd probably talk to my mom for a bit, just to see like if she has any idea why they showed up, why they were there. Last time she saw older brother.
They said drugs. They were looking for drugs. He's been dealing with drugs.
MPs showed up for drugs?
I guess he's been selling it to some folks on the base, and they just don't want. Yeah, they're just trying to root him out. They don't want that kind of stuff on the base.
Okay. It's still weird. Do you know when Dad's gonna get out?
No, I don't even know where your father is. I went downtown. That stupid deputy of ours doesn't even know where he is. He says,
That's weird.
I think he's down county. What the hell is he doing down on county? Why do we need a 45-minute drive? We got a perfectly good drunk tank here he could have been put in.
As usually is.
Don't get smart with me, Nicholas. It's been a rough day already. I haven't slept in 2 days.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll help you put the doors back together later. I'll come back with some supplies for that.
Thank you. You're a good boy. I'm going to go drive to county apparently now. So you're going to be in charge of getting your brother fed.
I'll bring some food home too.
Okay. You're a good boy. Give your mom a kiss. She very frustrated, like cold,
Very
like, you know,
angrily.
like, you could sense the tension and anger in her, but she means well, you know.
Yep.
Okay. Who else wants to do something? We'll come back to Horace in a moment. Who else wants to do something?
I was expecting I'd probably be hanging out with Edward to try and do something with our little electronic friend here.
Okay. What are you guys thinking about?
I mean, a little more experimenting. I kind of want to give it like a little bit of that sand, just a little bit specifically, to see if it reacts to it, or what's happening to our meat since it did whatever to the meat in the jar,
Okay.
and then whatever else he's got at home that might be fun to tease it with, more magnets or something, or maybe
Okay.
there's like maybe we can find a port or something to try and plug into. I don't know if it's still running or not.
When you sprinkle some of that dirt on it, yeah, it's like cat with catnip. It goes crazy. Just you also notice that fading, blinking orange light no longer blinks. It's now just kind of a steady. Kind of, it's just sort of a. Actually, no, it's not even on anymore. It's completely off.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
Do you have like a Faraday cage or something you can store that in when we're not messing with it?
Yeah, that's a question for Edward.
Edward, do you have a Faraday cage somewhere?
I mean, he might.
At this point in time, there wouldn't be a use for one.
Okay.
That's true.
No Wi-Fi
Probably a little more modern.
or RFIDs or anything else.
Okay.
Reynolds wrap.
So yeah. Who else wants to do something?
Are there any places like when Dad doesn't come home, like does he typically crash at like the Crystal Brewery pub house or anything? Or
I mean, you would know better than me. Where would Dad usually crash if not at home?
I feel like he's probably got a drinking buddy
yeah.
who maybe sometime lets him crash on his couch if it's too far to walk home.
What's the drinking buddy's name?
Floyd.
I was gonna say Fred, so we were
Nice.
close.
Yeah, Floyd Fredericks. Okay. Okay. Where you might know where he lives, I would imagine, if you've had to go there and get your dad off the couch at some point.
We've probably had to pick up Dad a couple times.
Okay. You go knocking on his door. He opens up. Big old heavy set fella. Big old bushy beard. He's like, oh, okay, hey you two, how you doing? You doing all right?
Yeah. How about you, Floyd?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Just drinking this crystal lager. Yep, just happy hour.
Yeah, I'm glad you're happy. Has Dad been by here? Did he catch up with you last night?
Yeah, I saw him over at Shakey's for a bit, but no, he didn't crash here, no.
Was he still over there when you left?
Yeah, we were hanging out during the storm for a bit, and then I had to go. I had me a lady friend to attend to, if you know what I mean. And y'all are old enough to know about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. And he said he was heading home soon. Gonna pick up some dinner for y'all or something.
Did he say where he was gonna get dinner from?
Can't say I asked, no.
Well, I wasn't concerned earlier because we thought maybe he was just with you. But he did not make it home.
I'm sure he's fine. He's probably just drunk in a ditch somewhere. It'll be all right.
Hey, I know that they're a bunch of assholes and whatnot, but apparently if you need some money, Hams needs some bodies tomorrow, like $100 or something.
No shit.
So like, it's thanks for, looking out for Dad sometimes. I just wanted to, give you a heads up.
Man, you're thank you. I could use a little scratch. All right. Yeah. So just over at okay. Yeah. Good on you. You going?
I don't know. Maybe.
What's school ever done for anyone? It's fine. You can skip it.
Probably.
Yeah. Anyway, anything? If I see him, I'll let him know you're all looking for him.
All right.
Did you notice anything weird during the storm?
Anything weird? What do you mean, like weird?
Well, you know, when the dust storms come, sometimes it, screws with the electricity and,
Oh yeah,
stuff like that.
The power kind of flickered a bit. Jukebox was going. Whew, God. How many times could one person listen to Peter Gabriel? You know what I'm saying? Like, I consider myself a fan, but like there is a limit. You know, we had to
And I'm
unplug
gonna s-
the thing at a certain point.
and I'm gonna start humming the song that we heard yesterday.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one right there. Like 4 straight times, and we unplugged it and just put the radio on. And that didn't work because then I don't know what the hell they were doing over there. But I don't need to hear a phone ringing for like whatever. So we unplugged that, and we were just talking. It's weird. You ever been in a bar when there's no music in the background? It was just weird, you know. But hey,
No, we're
Y-
17. When we
No.
go in bars, it's just to get dad
that's
and
right.
then leave.
Well, I mean, yeah, but okay, that right. Good
See you
point.
tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, you kids have a good one.
Take care, Floyd.
All right, Llewllyn, close the door. All right. Who else wants to do something?
Like, have you ever been to a bar?
That was great.
I might need to go swing by and visit my granddad. That's not even something we've talked about. It's an overpass collapsing last night.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Then I want to get to Horace whenever.
Okay. All right. You mentioned Horace, so we'll do Horace. Where does Horace congregate?
All over.
Okay, yeah, because there's probably two things. First, the homeless population, you tend to see them around downtown. But you also know that there's been recently they've been kind of squatting on the grounds of the old summer camp on the other side of Lake Carrion. It's been pissing everyone off like crazy. But that's a ways out of town. So.
Sure. I imagine he kind of like migrate back and forth between there and town and just kind of wherever he wants to be.
Okay.
So I'd probably just find him.
He's downtown. You find him downtown. You see him outside of like, City Hall, basically, Civic Center.
Yep. Yeah, I'm curious. I want to ask him if he's seen my brother recently, my older brother, and if he has any idea why MPs would be after him.
Well, I haven't seen your older brother. Nope, not at all. Was probably a good thing. He's a real son of a bitch, no offense. But, and I said,
that's
MPs.
deserved.
Well, I've been telling you over and over again, they got aliens up in them hills over there, and, I'll bet you your brother, well, he probably got some kind of secret that they don't want to know about is what it is. He was always kind of poking around and things that weren't none of his business, kind of opening the door in rooms you shouldn't be going in, and, rubbing elbows with folks that got dirty elbows, and, yeah, that metaphor went nowhere. But anyway, point is, he probably, he's a little shit is what I'm saying. He probably pissed off the wrong person what he had. They were playing
Yeah,
them
I'm
trucks
definitely
out here
getting that
last
vibe.
night too. Oh my god, there's just so many. Like a good 8, 9,
How'd
10.
you hold up during that dust storm?
Oh yeah. Well, fun story that. There's this pretty sweet dumpster out behind Shakey's. It's got a nice lid and everything, and I know the owner.
It's one of the new ones.
It is one of the new ones, and they don't mind and if I hang out back there to give me some scrap and such. I make sure I lay some mouse traps and such every now and then. Big old rat traps back there. And for that I get the day's scrap, so it's all good. Yeah.
See anything weird during the storm or after the storm?
I mean, I told you there were all them trucks here last night. There's tons of big old lights on them just driving through. It wasn't during the storm though. It was afterwards.
Do you know where they went? I keep hearing about these trucks. I don't know where they went to, though.
I don't know. I think they went out towards the flats. They went out west is where it went. I think they were heading out there. I did
That's
not
towards
have
where
my wheels
we were
on
at,
me.
right?
No, that's where you were.
Did we see any of those trucks when we were heading back from the?
No, this
salt
was
flats?
much later in the night.
Like, yeah, this is well past. This is like, I mean,
He holds up his arms. He's got like 3 different watches, but they're not working. He's like,
it ain't working, but it was pretty late. Most of the stores were closed and such at that time. Shakey's was closed down.
Okay. Yeah, I'm getting the vibe that my brother did something he shouldn't have.
Well, he's been doing something he shouldn't have for quite some time.
Yeah. Well, you really did something he shouldn't have this time.
Well,
I'd like to find where he's at.
I wish you luck. If I hear something, I'll put the ear to the ground. I'll get the word out in the network and see what I can stir up for you. But
That'd be great.
yeah, you got it. You got it, kid. Got anything on you? Little nibble.
I'd probably have like a granola bar or something on me. I'd give him.
Oh, chewy. I like this guy's good. Sweet. Not very good for it. Got a lot of sugar in it, but that's fine. I like it. You're good. You're a good fella.
You can afford a cheat day. You're looking good.
I am. Well, thank you. Thank you much. They let me use the bathroom at Shakey's too. That's another best thing. I think one of the waitresses there is kind of sweet on me, but we'll get it. And don't worry, you got more things on your plate. You don't need to hear about that. Anyway,
Keep me posted if there's any updates on that.
yeah, I'll let you know if she makes a move, or should I? Maybe I mean, it's almost the 21st century.
Maybe feel it out a little bit first.
I feel like it's the 90s. Women can make the first move, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, you have a good one. Bye.
You too.
okay. Levi, did you want to go? You said did you want to do? What did you want to do exactly?
I was thinking like swing by, visit Granddad in the hospital.
Okay.
If that overpass collapsed, maybe he saw something weird when it went down.
Anybody going with him?
Yeah, I'd make my way over there.
I don't know if I'm done with Ed Edwards or not at this point. So
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry,
I
you
feel
beat me to it. Sorry, it's too. Okay, so who's all going to the hospital with Levi?
I think I'm a little too concerned about backtracking Dad's steps.
Okay. So Llewllyn and Allison are busy tracking down their dad. Is everybody else going to the hospital? Is anybody not?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm actually doing a little hustling after school, making up some connections. But what I'm going to do with each of them is just kind of find out if anything weird happened last night.
Okay.
Yesterday.
all right. Well, I guess I'll be going to the hospital then.
Okay, so the 3 of you go. Let's go ahead and resolve Edwards. Edward, why don't you roll a charm test? If you're talking with folks, yeah.
Yeah, I got a little bit of that. Hey, success.
Okay. Yeah, you yeah, I mean, like you're just talking to. Are you just talking to like customers, other dealers and stuff? Just like kind of
A little bit of both.
Okay.
Doing a little hustling.
Okay.
Making some money.
They kind of confirm what I was just saying with Horace. There's some activity downtown. There's like a dozen different military vehicles that were just pouring through downtown. They passed by Lucky Charms Motel. They're heading out west to the salt flats and everything. But you also like the other thing is that they seem to. There was some kind of contraption on one of them, like that your friends and they had no idea what it was. It was just some weird looking thing, but it was like making noise. It was like it's like this weird sound, just like kind of pulsing. And they had no idea what the heck it was, but whenever it was kind of passing by, like whatever, street light or whatever, or if somebody had like a TV on or whatever, something like, there was like a weird kind of disruption of signal. Power didn't go out, but there's like a disruption of signal. Like the screen suddenly went a little staticky. Someone's Walkman or something like that kind of went on the fritz momentarily, and then it kind of resolved itself. But yeah, some strange contraption.
All right. Do I remember there being any similar sound?
No, you don't. You
okay.
don't have anything like that. That's the first you've heard of it.
All right. Yeah.
Okay. Hospital time. Nicholas, Levi, Stephen. Levi, you go and you see your grandfather. And Nicholas, Stephen, you kind of hang around a little bit outside in the hall, wandering around. But Levi, you go in, you can see he's beat up. They got a little neck brace on him. He's got some big old cut in his head. His legs up in in some kind of strap because he's got a cast around it. And some tall nurse is just sort of like feeding him applesauce.
Yeah, I'll come in like, hey there, old timer. Like, you should slow down with that partying.
Who are you calling old? I ain't old. You're old. Who are you? I don't even know who you are. Hey, nurse, there's some... I'm just kidding. How you doing, Levi? Come on in.
I'm doing all right. What are you wrecking your car for?
I didn't do it on purpose. You're getting worse than your mother is what you are.
Yeah, you better believe I caught some shit for that too. You can't be doing that to me.
Well, it wasn't. I was driving the damn bridge collapsed. What do you want me to do about it?
That's wild. Anything like weird happen? Like, was it around that like weird ass dust storm?
Yeah, it was in the storm, man.
That caught us out in the flats at the same time. It was some weird shit.
That was a pretty big storm.
Yeah, it was. Hey, so just putting it out there. Like, did you see any weird shit happening while you were in that wreck?
What do you mean weird shit?
Like ladies made out of dirt or bugs or lightning or radio calling people,
I like that you led with people made out of dirt. Like it's...
Are you on the drugs?
Well, that's not the point here.
You're on the drugs.
Wait,
I told you
answer the
100
question.
times. If it comes up out of the ground, it's okay. If it's anything else, that's no.
All right. Well, it came out of the ground, just like that girl who was made of dirt. Listen. Yeah, man.
Did I see anything weird? Well, I mean, like, I was driving across. There was one of them Winnebagos in front. Got some big old truck in the back. They were driving too, and all of a sudden, like, we were moving nice and slow. As should. And all of a sudden, out went the floor. Down we went.
Really, man?
Yeah, man. The one, the Winnebago, whew, I feel bad for them. They had all them geodes in them. Those.
Oh, yeah? The weird-ass rocks?
Spilled all over the place.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they were pretty upset, I think. Yep.
All right.
Yeah. I banged my head something fierce, though.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, but they were nice and sweet folk. Yeah, they bandaged me up and such. I guess one of them got me some help. Went for...
Mm-hmm. Did it knock any sense into you?
I don't think I like your tone.
Whatever, old timer. I'm gonna be eating shit from this at home for a while.
You think you're eating shit? You should taste this hospital food. No offense. Meanwhile, the nurse is like looking over at you like, "What the fuck are you talking? People made out of dirt? What's wrong?"
Don't worry about it, man. It's a drug thing. You wouldn't get it.
I'm a nurse. I work in the medical field. I wouldn't understand a drug thing.
All right, maybe that was the wrong choice of words on my end.
Kids today. Shakes their head, takes the tray, just like leaves, grumbling.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, I can't think of anything else. Like, all right, old timer. I was just making sure you weren't kicking the bucket yet.
I tell you, I had the weirdest dream, though. They kept kind of smacking me and such to keep me awake, but
Yeah.
I swear to God, I swear, I know it's concussion. They said, you see
What
things,
was
you
it?
hear things. I swear, I don't want to upset you.
All right.
I saw and I heard your pappy, your father, my son, because that's what I've decided.
Okay, that's fair.
I heard him.
Shit, what'd he say?
He was saying, why'd you go and drive your truck into a hole?
That sounds right.
Seems kind of strange. And then he asked about you, and he asked about your mom, stuff like that. How y'all doing? I don't know. I think I was probably just talking to one of them hippies.
I could see that. They probably had some new age shit setting on you, like crystals sticking out of your ears while they were trying to take care of you.
Crystals were so bright. And I tell you, when that dust was coming around, they were like flashing like super bright. It was giving me a headache. I'll tell you. Whew. Oh.
All right. Did when you saw that, did my dad say anything else? Like anything else sticks out? Like where he was at, what he was doing?
What do you mean, like right then? Well, right
Well,
then.
when you were
yeah, he was
having that dream.
Oh, he was just saying, you gotta be more careful, Like, I gotta look out for you now because you ain't got no one left except your mom and da-da-da-da-da, and I gotta look out for both of you. It's a lot of work, a lot of pressure to put on an old man.
Yeah, it is. And we see how you handle pressure. Look at it. Went and wrecked your car.
I'll tell you, it came right out from underneath me. There's nothing I can do about it. If you were driving the car, same thing would happen to you. Unless you can fly. Can you fly? No, you can't fly.
Listen, man, I just get high. I don't fly.
Yeah. Not
All
around
right,
your
old
mother.
timer.
Not
Yeah,
around your
yeah,
mother.
I know it. I don't need her freaking
She's been
out
through
over
too
that.
much.
Yeah.
She don't need something happen to you. Last thing she needs is some kind of overdose and finding you in a bathtub somewhere with your kidneys missing and heaven knows. Anyway, I'm tired.
All right, old timer. I'll
Okay.
catch you later.
All right. So, the two of you, Steven and Nicholas, while you're wandering around, you you see, like, go ahead and roll.
I would be kind of interested to look for anyone that came in from yesterday.
Yeah.
Like any weird injuries and.
How do you want to go about doing this? You want to try to like just kind of sneak through the wall, sneak through the halls and kind of peek in and like see if you can just avoid anyone from getting you into trouble, or you want to kind of like talk your way in case you run into some folks or whatever?
I guess it kind of depends on how tight this, like, I imagine since it's kind of a smaller area, they're not like super strict on how
no, they're not super strict. It's not a particularly big hospital either.
Definitely sneak for me though. I don't want to see people.
So I'd sneak around. I'd look for someone that I'd try and find someone that came in recently within the past 24 hours.
Okay.
And then I would just say like, oh, I'm lost looking for my friend if I get stopped.
Okay. Yeah. Both of you roll sneak tests.
I don't want to talk to anybody.
You don't have to talk to anybody. Just sneaking around.
I don't want to be seen by nobody. I want to
That's
talk to
2. Okay. All right. Do y'all split up, or do you stay together?
I don't know how big the hospital here would be.
Yeah, I don't know if we really need to split up.
It's like 2 floors, and then there's like a basement.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna go anywhere that.
Are there patients in the basement usually?
Not a lot. Not ones that are alive.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna go anywhere that wouldn't normally be allowed to go.
Mm-hmm.
Not this time.
Okay. All right. So, between the two of you, you got 3 successes. So I'll give you 3 things. You see one person who apparently, like, at some point you're just kind of going from room to room. You're just looking at the charts and stuff, just looking at dates, see when people came in and everything. And you see a door open up, and there's this poor old man, like, in his 50s, 60s, something like that. Not too old, but like you can tell he's got some gray hair and whatnot. But his head is swollen, like just like it's like twice the width that it would normally be, and it's got this oblong, almost like a goiter, this massive goiter sticking out of his cheek. And you can see that they've got this little container in the room, and there's some kind of colorful liquid connected to an IV that's stuck into his arm. And that little colorful container got like a radioactive symbol on a biohazard. When you peek in, and when you get a little closer, like the door suddenly closes, and you can see that there's like a doctor inside talking to him. That's one.
Okay. Is there anyone else in that room?
Yeah, there's a doctor in that room, like in like medical staff talking to him.
Take a quick peek in my backpack. Do I notice if that sand or the little beetle are doing anything?
No, they're not. Nothing different than they had been before.
Different. All right, so it's not sand's not glowing, being
Nope.
nearby any of this stuff or anything.
Nope. Okay. Number 2. You can see that because you guys rolled sneak tests, you can see that there is like a small section of one of the floors, and like on the wing where there's this deputy that seems to be asleep in a chair, and you can see that there's a door right next to him, like he was like watching this room, but he's got like some kind of comic book in his hand, and it's on the ground. Coffee is spilled. Yeah, coffee is kind of spilled out onto the ground. He's just sleeping. And
get like there's like some notes on the door. See who's in the room.
Yeah, you don't get any notes on the door specifically, but you do. If you go into the room, you notice that there's the clipboard like on the foot of the bed. You can see the chart, and the name you get when you look at it is Lee Price.
Is that a name we'd recognize from the town, or?
Where do you live again? You live in like you guys both live in like nice places, right?
I'm like in the cheaper part of the suburbs.
We're probably in kind of opposite ends to a degree.
Okay. If you're in suburbs or up, name doesn't ring a bell. But when you open the door and you kind of move up and you grab, there's no one in here. And that's when you notice that your feet, when they hit the ground, they crunch a little bit. They take another step, you crunch a little bit.
Right.
And you look up, there's a whole mess load of sand, like right in the bed. A bunch of dirt on the ground. It's all scattered all over the place.
Is it colored in any particular manner?
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely different colors. Yeah, but it's all kind of scattered at the moment.
A bunch of sand in the bed, or is it just everywhere?
There's a bunch of sand in the bed, but a lot of it's also on the ground too.
Sorry, I missed that. I blocked out. Is the guy in the bed made out of sand? Is that what you're saying?
There's no one in the bed. Just a big old pile of sand in the bed, and there's a bunch of sand on the ground.
Is it sand that's resembling the color of?
It's a bunch of different colors.
Person?
It's definitely a bunch of different colors.
Sounds like it's been disturbed too much to represent anything at this point.
That's a fair conclusion.
Does it look like there was like an IV or any of that other stuff like in that other guy's room in here?
No, you don't see the radioactive thing. You just see some like kind of a saline bag and everything. They were just getting fluids and whatnot.
Just regular looking stuff in this case. Maybe I'll find something to try and collect up a little bit of this sand too.
Sure, no problem.
Well, it's almost scarier that it's a slow process, because if there's enough time that this person that's getting turned into sand can react, get brought to the hospital, get hooked up with an IV, and then completely turn to sand. That's kind of I don't like that.
Okay.
Yeah, who knows what happened to them to get them there.
And then here's number 3. When you're looking out when you're in this room, you're kind of inspecting it. It's got a window. You look out the window. You can see to kind of the northern mountains where all the rich folk live and everything over by Lake Carrion. You just happen to be passing by the window at like the perfect time. You just look up at the mountain. You see this really fancy looking home. You can barely see it from this distance, but it's there.
It's like that one light on the mountainside that everybody knows. It's that rich guy who lives on the mountain.
It's right there. And then you just suddenly see it tumble down the mountain. Until you can't see it anymore.
Is that
the house?
Yeah. The whole building just boom, 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 and just disappears.
Tumbling towards my neighborhood?
No, it would be on the northern side of the lake, so it would be towards
Does it look
the
like
summer
it's
camp.
breaking apart as it's tumbling?
It's too far to discern that much, but it does seem to be mostly intact as it's tumbling. And we're going to leave it on that, I think, because it's 10 after our time. That's a good note to leave it on. All right. And
oh my gosh, there's so much stuff going on.
It's a sandbox. You can do whatever you want.
Sandbox.
So much
Stand people.
We got a missing dad. We've got beetles. We've got the end of Wheeler Street and Endurance as we know it. Man. Whew.
Well, we haven't really picked any one of these strings to pull on just yet either.
It's just laying the
Still
groundwork.
start, yeah.
This is literally
Finding
session
all of
one, if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just gathering.
Gathering stuff. All right, so we'll end it there for now.
XP questions.
Oh, yeah, XP questions. Melissa always remembers the XP questions.
I'm greedy.
I respect that.
Did you participate in the session? Yes. Did your problem or relationships get you into trouble? So
I'd say so.
Problem is something that you specifically defined in your character sheet. Relationships could be anything between an NPC that you defined a relationship. Everyone, you can have two at the beginning of the game, two NPCs, and then you have relationships with each other. No one was broken. No one took a scar. Would anyone say they've put yourselves in harm's way to like investigate the mystery at all? Not yet.
Other than going past the sleeping deputy, but I felt pretty safe going past him.
Okay.
I mean, if we woke him up, he probably would have just hassled us about being there, and then
Everybody shot
bored.
you, put you in that morgue, the basement.
Yeah.
That's one way to get into the basement.
And then did you learn something new? All of you, I would say, learned something new. So definitely take a point for that. Definitely take a point for participation in the session. I think most of you can probably take a point for problem or relationship. So I think most of you probably got 3. Sounds good. All right, let's do some close and plugs. We'll go around the room again. So Bert, what do you got going on this week?
Let's see. I got some first edition Dungeons and Dragons Tuesday night, some BX Dungeons and Dragons on Friday, and Sunday Gamma World second edition.
Okay, perfect.
That's at twitch.tv/SteamSteelMurder.
I will drop that link in. There we go. Chuck, what's going on with Defenders?
Oh, snap. Wednesday, Jeremy's going to be running some spectaculars for us at 10 p.m. on Defenders. Friday, I'll be running some Alien, Chariot of the Gods on Defenders. And then we got Saturday, we'll be recording our next episode of Watercolors and Warriors, our Ghibli-inspired 5th Ed campaign. It's YouTube only. And then Saturday night on Goodman Games Official, Bert's going to be running some Umerica for us. So,
Very
yeah,
nice.
we're going to be doing a funnel on that. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Awesome. Jeremy.
I mean, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And for comic stuff, if you like it, PLEWD, Bluecast on Anchor and the YouTubes. Why not?
Okay. Yeah, I dropped, which one did I drop? I dropped the Anchor one in there. So there you go. But honestly, wherever you get podcasts, just search for the Plutecast. You should be able to find it. So if you've got a podcast app, because I use Pocket Casts and I get it there. So pretty much any podcast app will find it. Just search for the Plutecast. And then for us, Adventures in Lollygagging, twitch.tv/the Lollygaggers. Friday this week, 8 Central, we are starting a brand new campaign. We're doing Delta Green. We're doing an Impossible Landscapes campaign. So terrified, never run it. It's been freaking me out. It's a really creepy creepy mystery that's giving me insomnia, but it's fine. And then next Monday, over on our channel, we're doing chapter 2 of our Cinders of Heaven campaign for Alien, a little custom campaign that we all do. A bunch of the people that you see on the screen are there. And then in 2 weeks, you can catch us right back here for more Things from the Flood, Into the Dirt. And that's it. So thanks for everybody who hung out. Thanks for the raids. Yeah, watch more Free League stuff. There's plenty of stuff going on this week as well. So follow, was it Jowsum3 on Twitter if you want to get more of the Free League publishing schedule for the week. So good night, everybody.
Bye.